Do you like cheese? robotic pet launch. So I'm going to click that, I'm going to click and hit. Enter on this, and then what's going to happen behind the scenes is that ChatGPT is going to set up its own desktop, and that recommendations that you can see here. For example, we could create a presentation, so we could develop a go-to-market strategy for robotic pet launch. So I'm going to click that, I'm going to click and hit enter on this. And then what's going to happen behind the scenes is that ChatGPT is going to set up its own desktop, and that desktop is essentially a Linux machine that lives on the cloud. And then because of that, it can access to things like Python, using a browser. Also, as you can see here, give you a live preview of what ChatGPT is doing in the flow. So you can see it's doing some searching, it's then going to do a reading mode, and if you look on the bottom of this, we can actually scroll back and you can see specifically what different bits the agent decided to take, and that's called a trajectory. So what trajectory did the agent take? Now, interestingly, go to the triple dots, click on that, and you'll see there's three things here at the moment. You can see the activities, that gives you a breakdown of what this specific version has worked on. That's quite useful to see how often it's searching, how often it's reviewing. If we go and do stop, then obviously that will stop the autonomous agent. And the other thing that we can do is we can take over the browser. Now, I'm going to show you one that I did earlier, so let me go and show you that. So I've got a broadband affordability analysis, and you can see that basically it went and worked for 17 minutes and actually built a bunch of slides, and you can see it going and working on the terminal here, doing lots of code and generating kind of different types of visualizations. And it worked, and then it actually created a presentation, and I could download this as a PDF. So again, this is the kind of thing that you get when you can use ChatGPT to generate presentations. And you can see this is what it generated on different types of broadband and the monthly costs and all that kind of stuff. That's what a report looks like when they're finished. Now, obviously, if we go to the go-to-market strategy, you can see that ChatGPT is working, and it's going to take a while. So now it's actually in the machine that's running lots of different types of commands. So that's quite useful for seeing what's happening on the activity view. And obviously, if you want, you can look at the desktop view as well. Great, so we've gone through, I've shown you a report at the end, and obviously we could wait until this report's done, but it's going to roughly produce some kind of PowerPoint. The key insight I want you to take away from this is that you could use this for anything, and we could go a step further, and we could not only use web search and Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, but we can also give ChatGPT agent access to our own websites. So if I go and create a new chat, and then we'll go back and we'll go into agent mode. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, I'm actually going to just not use the suggestion. So I'm going to say, I want to spin up a virtual VM, and I will log into a website. And what I'm going to show you is this other feature of agent mode that we haven't seen yet. Right, to go into the triple dots, click take over browser, and then you can control the browser. So I can go in here, I can sign into x.com, and if you've already signed in on your ChatGPT account, then it should have access to that. So you can see here, I actually have access to this, and we can go and like this post. So I've signed in with my account. Obviously, you could sign into anything you want here. You could go to Facebook, what have you. That's the power of this, is you just sign in and then it's going to remember you. Click on the bottom right, finish controlling. Then we can say, I want you to create 3 posts on x.com saying, hello world from ChatGPT agent mode. Okay, so here's the powerful thing. Now it's able to use logins that you've previously provided, and you can basically have that so it can do some work. So it's decided that that page is facebook.com, but you can now see that it's gone to x.com, and we can actually see it's going to go up here and it's going to compose. You will see that it asks you, shall I click to publish it? And we'll say continue. So sometimes it will ask for approval, which is absolutely fine. We could probably be more specific with the prompt, like if you have to do anything, then don't worry about it. And essentially, yeah, like you can see here, shall I click to publish it? And there you go. So now it's working, and the second post is here. And again, yeah, you can rate these responses. We can click to continue. I'll say continue and post without permission. Let's see if it does that or whether it actually needs permission. So I'm going to just tell it continue and post without permission. So let's see, let's have a look. Yeah, so you can see without further confirmation prevents, yeah, so would you like to modify it? So yeah, modify it and make it unique for 3 messages. But we'll do 5 messages then. And don't ask, just do. So we're just going to use some prompting techniques to specifically lock it in and just tell it it's absolutely fine, go and do the work. And that'd be the type of thing that you'll put at the initial prompt when you're doing whatever task you need to do. It's just telling it, don't ask for permission, just do the work. Now, obviously, you've got to be very careful with that because you're giving a lot more agency and you're giving a lot of delegation to agents. But just be aware that you can often, OpenAI will respect your prompts if you're saying, just do the work. So I'm going to go and open a fresh tab on and have a look on x.com, and let's see what we've got. So we've got 1, we've got 2. How are we doing? So it says that it's thinking. It says that it's thinking. So here you go. So it's decided it's going to modify these. It's clicking send. So you can see here. So now that I'm going to do that, and then what are we doing here? So you've got a bunch of these. Hello world. Hello world. Let's see. I'm sending the message hello world from ChatGPT, post 2. Here you go. So post 3 of 5. And then it's clicking post. And there we go. So we've got our 3rd message from ChatGPT. The agent mode, the agent model is now working. So here you go. So we learned about the fact that you could use agent mode to build PowerPoints or presentations. It has complete access to a virtual machine. You've learned about how to add in additional types of websites by using that takeover browser. And you've also learned about how to do some clever prompt engineering techniques so that we don't have to keep clicking that continue button. All right, the final thing I just want to say on this is you can also schedule these, and you can say how often you want them to come, and you can give a range of instructions, and you can tell it when to repeat as well. So scheduling is also possible, and I will see you in the next one. If possible, to customize ChatGPT to give it more. In this video, you're going to explore ChatGPT agent mode. This came out clicking that continue button. All right, the final thing I just want to say on this is you can also schedule these, and you can say how often you want them to come, and you can give a range of instructions, and you can tell it when to repeat as well. So scheduling is also possible, and I will see you in the next one. To give it more information about yourself and to make sure that the responses are a bit more tailored to you. In order to do this, we're going to leverage something called custom instructions. If you go into the top right of your page, click on your profile icon. After there, I want you to go and click on Customize ChatGPT. You can then go and click on the bottom left, click on Enable for New Chats, and then I can do things such as tell ChatGPT my name, what I do, and you can also give it some specific traits. So how do you want ChatGPT to respond? And is there anything else that you want ChatGPT to know about you? You can go to the advanced section, and you can also change or toggle what type of capabilities you want ChatGPT to have access to. So for example, web search, DALL-E, which will produce images, code, i.e. can run and execute code, Canvas, and if possible to customize ChatGPT to give it more information about yourself and to make sure that the responses are a bit more tailored to you. In order to do this, we're going to leverage something called custom instructions. If you go into the top right of your page, click on your profile icon. After there, I want you to go and click on Customize ChatGPT. You can then go and click on the bottom left, click on Enable for New Chats, and then I can do things such as tell ChatGPT my name, what I do, and you can also give it some specific traits. So how do you want ChatGPT to respond? And is there anything else that you want ChatGPT to know about you? You can go to the advanced section and you can also change or toggle what type of capabilities you want ChatGPT to have access to. So for example, web search, DALL-E, which will produce images, code, i.e. can run and execute code, Canvas, and then you've also got advanced voice. So what I want you to do is spend a couple of minutes thinking about what kind of traits do you want to have ChatGPT using? And also, is there anything else that you want to add in here so that ChatGPT has more information about you? Doing that, you can just click Save, and then that will basically customize your ChatGPT for all of your future messages. In the next video, we're going to look at how you can utilize ChatGPT memory so that ChatGPT can understand information across lots of your different chat histories. You can easily use shortcuts inside of the ChatGPT user interface so that you can go and do things such as toggle the sidebar like this, or even have a look at all the individual shortcuts. Hit Control // or if you're on Mac, hit Command //. You will then be presented with something called keyboard shortcuts. As you can see, I would just toggle. You can easily use shortcuts inside of the ChatGPT user interface so that you can go and do things such as toggle the sidebar like this, or even have a look at all the individual shortcuts. Hit Control // or if you're on Mac, hit Command //. You will then be presented with something called keyboard shortcuts. As you can see, I was just toggling the sidebar like this, or even have a look at all the individual shortcuts. Hit Control // or if you're on Mac, hit Command //. You will then be presented with something called keyboard shortcuts. As you can see, I was just toggling the sidebar. We can also do other things such as deleting the chat, opening a new chat, focusing the chat input, or even copying the last response or the last code block. Hopefully this will help you to speed up your ChatGPT workflows. Hey, so OpenAI released Canvas in October the 3rd, 2024. I believe their goal is to compete against directly with Claude, which provides an interactive coding editor, which is a lot more collaborative than trying to get everything done in the chat window. Canvas is a great way to write code and also to do article generation or content creation. The OpenAI team decided to come up with a different user interface for how you can write code or how you can generate these blog posts, and they called it Canvas. And basically it provides a bunch of shortcuts. So for writing, it suggests like edits that you can adjust the length, change the reading level, you can add a final polish or add emojis. And this is what an example of it is, where you've got like this kind of full page where you can edit a specific artifact, which is very similar to a Claude artifact, right? So it's a canvas, and you can increase or decrease the reading level. And they've also got the ability to do this with Canvas, so you can add specific bits and these additional methods, or add in this type of stuff. And basically what they're trying to do is come after the coding editor market, where you've got an interactive canvas that you could then share with people, and you could do things like code review or port to a different language or fix bugs, add logs or add comments. So Canvas is a different way of writing code directly inside of ChatGPT. To turn on Canvas, all you need to do is go into the top left and go to GPT-4o with Canvas, and this is in beta at the moment. And then you can say, for example, write a web server in Node.js. And what it will do is it will actually generate an artifact, and it looks slightly different. So you can see here you've got this chat window on the left-hand side, and also if we have a look here, we've got code reviews, port to a language, fix bugs, add logs and comments like we saw earlier. So for example, I could port this to TypeScript, and then I'm just going to click on this button, and then it's going to then know that I want this web server to be written in TypeScript. And I can also chat with it here, so I can say I want you to create a couple of endpoints. So it's basically a full screen editor experience where we can basically use a canvas to do a specific task, okay? And you can still interact with the chat on the left-hand side, and you've got these keyboard shortcuts, so we could say fix bugs or add logs. So let's go and add logs, for example, and then it's just basically said I want you to add some endpoints, and now we're adding some logging as well. So we've got some console.logs, which show what's going to happen for those specific endpoints. So that, yeah, so that's Canvas, and obviously if we close this down, you'll see that it falls in here, and then we can also generate a different canvas. So I could say, now I want you to create a blog post on the benefits of using Node.js versus, I don't know, we'll say PHP. And now it's generated a different type of canvas, okay? And in this canvas, you have the ability to, if we have a look at the keyboard shortcuts as after this is generated, you'll see that these keyboard shortcuts, you can tell it to suggest edits, where it's actually commenting specifically on the piece. So it's very collaborative, that we can apply these edits directly. And also, if we have a look, we can do things like we can adjust the length, so we can make it longer, or we can make it shorter, and we can do things like adjust the reading level, so we can make it kindergarten versus graduate school. And so there's lots of different things that we can do. We can also add a final polish or add emojis. Just like in the previous coding editor, we can also say, I want you to continue with the blog post, and it's able to take chat commands. But you can see here it's actually regeneration from the top down, so this is a potential limitation, but it should then make more information. So you can see here we've got a little bit more of a conclusion. We can also tell it to rewrite it, we can apply these changes, and also the other things that we can do is in the top we can also copy it as well, and we can also see the changes that have happened, and we can go back and look and go through the change history. So you've got some version control in there, and you can also click on copy and copy that. If we now go back, you can now see we've got two canvases. You've got Node.js PHP benefits, and I can also dive back into this canvas. So they are creating these kind of like artifacts, and on the top you'll see we've got these different canvases that we can go into at any time. And then if I go back and away from this, then we can see I've got three canvases, which are basically very similar to Claude artifacts. So hopefully this gives you a good understanding of what a canvas is and how you might decide to use that. It's more of a collaborative tool. I see OpenAI trying to come after the coding editor, the writing editor experience directly inside of their platform. I think that's the play here. And I can see that they could maybe make this multiplayer so that you could add all these friends or all these colleagues and you could communicate and work on a piece of code or work on a piece of content collaboratively using AI. Hey, and in this video we're going to have a look at something called ChatGPT Memory. This basically allows ChatGPT to store previous information from your recorded chat history sessions. You can prompt memory as well. So we're going to go into the top left, go to GPT-4o, and then what I'm going to do is say, remember that my name is James. And what you'll see is that ChatGPT is actually going to say memory created or memory updated, and ChatGPT is able to then figure out that there's a memory here. After clicking on Manage Memories, you can see all of the memories that appear, and you can also delete memories as well. So I could delete that, ChatGPT knows that my name is James. Now, why memory is so powerful is because we could go delete memories as well. C is that ChatGPT is actually going to say memory created or memory updated, and ChatGPT is able to then figure out that there's a memory here. After clicking on Manage Memories, you can see all of the memories that appear, and you can also delete memories as well. So I could delete that, ChatGPT knows that my name is James. Now, why memory is so powerful is because we could go to a new conversation and say, what is my name? And it knows that my name is James. And this is really good because this basically means we can store or tell ChatGPT to store relevant information about our business, about our personal context, and then that information is going to be dynamically injected into the prompt and make the chat and the responses much more tailored to you and your current situation. So remember, you can access your memories by creating memory. You can also access your memories if you go to the top right, go to Settings, and then once you're in Settings, click on Personalization and then go to Manage, and you'll see all of your memories here. You can clear all memories or you can clear a single memory, and then over time you will accumulate more memories. Cool. Go and create your first memory with ChatGPT on Personalization and then go to Things. Click on Personalization and then go to Manage, and you'll see all of your memories here. You can clear all memories or you can clear a single memory, and then over time you will accumulate more memories. Cool. Go and create your first memory with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT now has an additional functionality called scheduled tasks. This allows you to set up recurring work, whether it be daily or weekly, so that you can automate some of your day-to-day activities using ChatGPT. To utilize this feature, what you need to do is go into the top left and then click on GPT-4o with scheduled tasks. You could say, let's create a task every day to make a social media post for my data engineering consultancy. I want to post to make a new post at 8 a.m. every day. And then ChatGPT task is going to realize that this is a task that needs to be done. So you can see it says create a task, and it's going to remind us every day at 8. a.m. If you click on the triple dots, you can either pause the task, edit the task, and you can see this is the name of the task. The instructions tell me to make a social media post, and we could also say, we could change this to generate a social media post for my data engineering consultancy. You can change the schedule to daily, weekly, monthly, annually, or custom. And then as well as that, the other thing you'll want to do to activate this is make sure that you have desktop notifications turned on. So remember to click allow there, your notifications are turned on. Also, the other place you'll need to go to see all of your tasks is go on your profile icon in the top right, click on that, go to tasks in beta, and then you can see these are all the tasks that you've got where you can pause or delete a task. generate to activate this is make sure that you have desktop notifications turned on. So remember to click allow there, your notifications are turned on. Also, the other place you'll need to go to see all of your tasks is go on your profile icon in the top right, click on that, go to tasks in beta, and then you can see these are all the tasks that you've got where you can pause or delete a task, or you can edit a task as well there. Earlier on in the ChatGPT section, we had a look at how we can easily generate images from prompts and also by using reference images. Now, I want to also make a point here that ChatGPT Vision also has reasoning capabilities. So for example, we can put in the original portrait of my image and we can ask a question like, how many fingers am I holding up? And ChatGPT is able to not only generate images from images, but it's also able to provide
just ran out of battery. My laptop is fine. Yeah.